Good evening and welcome into WMAR 2 News Election Night coverage. I'm Kelly Swoop.
And I'm Jamie Costello. It is finally here, no matter which party you support. Months of anxiety and tension, and it's all coming down to this. We're going to have an update on the presidential election in just a moment, but let's find out how we're doing right out our own front door, Kelly.
Yeah, we're going to start with WMAR 2 News' Ray Strickland, who is live in North Baltimore, Western High School. So, Ray, how's it looking out there? Final day for people to get their votes in. They got about 3 hours left.
Well, Jamie, Kelly, right now outside of Western High School, the only line you see is not of people, but actually of these campaign signs lined up outside of the high school here. No long lines full of voters here at the moment, but what I can tell you is I was told that this was actually not the case earlier this morning when polls first opened. An election official here told me that lines were actually out of the door of people waiting to come vote, and basically what I've been told is that it's been sporadic ever since. Now, I want to take you inside of the high school here where people are taking part of one of the most unique general elections in history. And despite virus concerns, officials are still expecting a record turnout, and that's even with the record numbers from early voting here at Western High School. I'm told so far more than 1,000 people have voted, and officials expect that number to only increase throughout the day. We caught up with voters about their decision to vote in person, even if that meant there was a chance they would have to wait for more than an hour.
The most important thing is the mayor of Baltimore. I don't like the establishment. It needs to change. If Baltimore's going to go forward, it needs to change. Can't tell you who I voted for, but I voted for change.
One of the biggest things brought me out was the presidential election, number one. It's very important that we have somebody in there that's going to be able to run the country and support all the people.
Now, as I mentioned, this is one of the most unique presidential, or rather general elections in history because of the pandemic. The voters you just heard from say election officials here are doing actually a pretty great job at following CDC guidelines of hand hygiene, passing out hand sanitizer, practicing social distancing, and mask wearing. Of course, that is welcome news for voters who still plan to cast their ballots later tonight. But for now, live in Baltimore, Ray Strickland, WMAR 2 News.